I am definitely trying to put up a picture for us, and I had to switch devices just so that you guys know what is going on. So we do have a picture. If the screen is black, I apologize for that. We are here now, and I want you to come on in. Come on in and be a part of our show at 1-888-721-9260. 9260. And I'm actually looking forward to all of you. So how do we reclaim our peace? How do we do it? We're going to be talking about that. For those of you who are with me, thank you for bearing this up, and know that we care very much about you, and that's why we want you to be part of our Think About Thursday. I want to share with you a couple of facts, and the facts of that we
and they don't do a lot of films, and
we are interactive, and the reason why we're interactive because we want you to think about and ponder over and sit with your thoughts, which is really a form of reflection. How many of us are really being reflective? Good morning, Trish. Can you hear me okay?
Good morning, and yes, I can.
Okay, great. So, as we're thinking in our thoughts, as we're thinking in our thoughts, what, Trish, do you think creates inner peace for you? And how do you find your inner peace? I'm so sorry. So sorry, guys. And there is a mic that needs to be unmuted. Can you check your mic? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. Because it is. So, how do you reclaim your peace, Trish?
How I reclaim my peace is usually I'm a praying person, so that's how I gather myself first, and then after I pray, I like recollect my thoughts, get my mind together, and then I do something that I like, whether it's listening to music or just watching a favorite TV show or just scrolling on YouTube of things that I like, and just going outside too, drinking a cup of coffee. That's how I like gather myself after I don't feel so peaceful.
Yeah. For me, gravitating toward peace is a work out for me, especially when you live amongst people that don't create peace in the home, or you have to make up in your mind that you are not going to engage in anything that is not peaceful. Because if I continue, and let me talk about me, because if I continue to entertain their not being at peace, them not being at peace, then I contribute to the toxicity of my own mental and emotional health. And do I want to risk that? No would be the answer. And so, what we're going to do, we're going to find some people to talk to today, and we're encouraging you all to call in. We want to hear from you. The number is 1-888-721-9260. Trisha, excuse me, I want to thank you in advance for your patience with me. Thank you, and thank you. Because we never know what we're going to get. We never know. But I like Think About Thursdays, in case you guys have not thought to think about Thursdays. I'm going to tell you what. I Think About Thursdays have a series of questions, and this is a regular segment here. So come take a look at it. We're on YouTube. We're going to let you scan the QR codes. Please take a look at it. We want you also to know that we're here, and just because it's Think About Thursday, you can answer the questions when you see them. We've got a lot of participation, and I just found out today that people were commenting, and I didn't see it on our Facebook, but I have to look at the stats and things like that. So I was able to do that this morning. And I want to apologize to the people that have actually answered some questions. And Trish has been so well in putting our Think About Thursday together. So if you guys want to hear conversation, we're going to encourage you to go to our YouTube page and go under our Think About Thursday. And we're going to get into reclaiming peace. When I say reclaiming peace, what do you think about? What do you think about reclaiming peace? Because if I'm reclaiming something, I'm owning it, right? Sometimes peace can be silent, and sometimes silence is very golden. There is a time to speak, and there is a time to stay silent. Sometimes, because of different environments, I remain silent. Because again, if you entertain it, it will make you sick, you will have headaches, and every other kind of physical illness. Don't do that to yourself if you choose not to. When you think about reclaiming, I want you to think it as it is in your control. It is in your control. What other people do, how they respond, how they react, is none of my business. However, how I act, how I behave, how I respond is all of my business. Because you can't change other people. Here is a saying by Maya Angelou that I love. If you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. Are you finding in your reclaiming peace that just because people don't have the peace that you wish, that they want to control you? That is a question before we get into calling people, because today we're going to call people at random and ask them. So when we think about how it has an effect on us, can we change them? You hurt yourself if you're trying to control them. As you know, we are responsible and accountable for our own actions. Anything that lives outside of you, you will never control it. It's like this. Have you ever been in traffic? How many here have been in traffic? Anybody? You've been in
I
traffic. I was
I
just in
have.
traffic the other day. I wanted to hurry up and get home, and it was taking forever because there were bad accidents on the freeway. I was starting to build up anxiety because I wanted to hurry home. There was nothing I could do because the situation was out of my control. But what choices did I have to reclaim my peace? The only thing I could do was wait. And I was ever so thankful for my music playlist. Did anyone catch that? Of how I was able to reclaim my peace? 2 accidents were on the freeway, and they were very bad accidents. So music brings me to a peaceful place. And I reasoned that there was nothing I could do but wait. Was I angry? No. Was I upset? No. I was experiencing, rightfully, anxiety because I wanted to go home. So, what do we do in the present when our peace is being threatened? Trish, you talked about praying. I do that first and foremost as well. But sometimes there are going to be situations that you can honestly do nothing about. That which is on the outside. But now you, on the other hand, and I mean generally you, that is capital YOU. That's a general sense of anybody and everybody that's listening. What do you do? There could have been several things to do while waiting in traffic. I chose to listen to my music. That always helps me. But there are other things that could have been done. People watching, looking around at the environment, and you're already looking out the window. You can look at all the beautiful creation. Because what was happening to me, or what I could have allowed to happen, was to start hyperventilating. And what good would that have done my body? There are other situations that we find ourselves in. People's behavior, grocery store lines, the bank, which I absolutely hate to go to if I'm withdrawing or if I'm putting in. Because sometimes, depending on when you go, the lines are long. People get really anxious. Have you ever been in a grocery store line and the line is long and there's only one checker stand open? Happens to me all the time. And you're wondering, where are all the checkers? Where are they at? I always assume maybe they're on lunch break. But as you look over, you see them over there in the MoneyGram section. They're talking. Or they're walking around. Where are all the people that were hired as you stand in the only line that is open? You look for another line. The one next to you is closed. And maybe that's why the self-checkout has been something that has come into being, though not the only reason why it has come into it. But that's maybe another episode. And now I want you to think about your thoughts. How do we? Where do we? What do we do when it comes to reclaiming? Going back to the car and waiting. I chose to listen to my music. Because you know what? Music has a way of calming us down. Is that right, Trish, or no?
That's true.
Yeah, yeah. You know that thing that I said about the environment of living with people who create not a peaceful place? Giving consideration for them, because I'm in the line of work, that there is something wrong. Maybe they're agitated. Maybe they're not at peace because they haven't thought about things such as other people, the other person. Now, can I change? Yes, I can. Because being in that cycle really drains you. And there are some of you that know exactly what I'm talking about. And I want men, women, families, college students, mothers, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, brothers, sisters, whoever you're listening, whoever you are that you listen, we want to hear from you today. How can you change it? Self-respect, respecting others, being around even friends. You know, we use the word loosely, friends, when what we really mean are acquaintances. And if you've got 365,000 friends, great for you. We applaud you. But if you've got one or two friends, do they honor you? Your family members, do they respect you? Do they help you on your healing journey and honor the person that you are? Now, I've asked you 3 questions. Even if one of them is a no, then it is time to reclaim your peace. Expectation. You know, parents expect for their young ones to be well behaved. And as you get older, they want you to be able to grow up, be respectful, be productive in society. And if you're doing anything other than that after 18, reclaim your peace. Parents. Why did I say that? Because some of us have older children who are living in our home past the age of 18. There's no marked number, but we don't have to take the chaos if they're not being respectful, if they're not going to honor you, if they're not going to do what is expected of them. So then it's time to reclaim your peace. And when you start to reclaim your peace, it doesn't mean that you don't love them. And I want to talk to the parents for a moment, because sometimes, you know, we think that we are indebted. But if we find ourselves in a space where now our peace is threatened, we need to reclaim our peace. I want you to understand too, what are you giving your power to? Do you give your power to thoughts to engage in arguments, maybe with your spouse, maybe with your workmate, maybe with your family, social relationships, friends? Are you giving your power to something negative? Something that tears the peace down? Or are you empowering yourself with positivity? Power of your mind. Because after all, your mind is your brain, and nobody controls your brain. You know, we get in these relationships that have created chaos. I've talked to many of people, and you ask them if you're going to stay, because what they want you to do is tell them what to do. We're not a podcast like that. We research. And we hope that you'll take something away to regain your peace, to reclaim it. Sometimes our mind ruminates over and over again about a situation that was less than peaceful, anything but peaceful. And we keep going over it in our minds. How many of you have done that? Anybody?
I have.
And how was that for you?
It doesn't help when I keep thinking about it, whatever the situation is that wasn't so great. It becomes overwhelming in my mind as well, and I become even more anxious of it happening again. So I just avoid like getting into whatever the situation was like again because I'm not ready. I'm not prepared. So that's how it makes me feel.
I'm going to say 2 words to you all up on your reclaiming your peace. You ready for the 2 words? They're 2 R words: resentment and release. How do they play a part? They don't. If you don't release the resentment, you will start to resent that you didn't act upon what you knew. Resentment and release. See, the resentment of letting go of the thing or the someone or the something that is not causing you the peace that you wish to have. You will start to resent it if you don't set your boundary. And so I say to you today to think about the release of it. When you have released something, you've done everything in your power to think about what it is that you're going through, and then you release it. It's like this. How many of you have blown up a balloon? We've all done that, right? Who of us here or listening has not had the experience of blowing up a balloon? Look at the effort that you have to put into blowing up a balloon. You ever feel like your chest is tight? Have you experienced that while blowing up a balloon? You're
I
blowing
have.
into that balloon with your power and your might, with your every breath. And as you blow into that balloon, you know what begins to happen? You feel like you're out of breath, especially the little tiny balloons. Anybody ever had little tiny balloons that you just had to stretch and then try to blow into them? How many of you have had that experience?
I have.
Yeah. How did you feel trying to get that thing to blow up to become the balloon?
I felt like this is too much work for me to be to be blowing a balloon.
Yeah. What's the point? The point is, once you finally get it going, you release it. How many of us have released a balloon and saw how quickly they fly away. Do you see the difference between the release and the resentment? Trish, the resentment symbolically was, what did you just say, Trish? That last part. Okay. You just wanted to hurry up and blow the balloon up, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to do. Doesn't make sense. Because we don't want to lose you in translation. We want you to understand the release of it. So you feel like it's pressure off of you. Because you've taken your whole energy and put it into that balloon. Until it becomes bigger and bigger. And then when you finally get it to the point where you want to get it, we know how to release balloons, and we know how quickly a balloon can be released, right? I've chased a few balloons in my life. So don't be the person that says, I wish this would hurry. This is taking all my energy. Release it. Did I make sense, Trish? We're live. Did I make sense? Did I lose anybody?
I think it makes sense.
So once you have let it go, don't go back and get it. It's like chasing that balloon again. How hard is it to catch a balloon that you've released? It's pretty difficult. Please remember that you can change your boundaries. You can say yes, or you can say no. However your interior walls are within your body, you can still remain firm. You could be the softest, meekest, calmest, or you can be a very hard-nosed, hard-hearted. Whatever your personality is, your saying no and your saying yes is up to you. When we think about peace and reclaiming it, how many of you think about your own peace? Or you're always thinking about what you must do for the other person? I'm going to give you a scenario because we can go from here to Z, A to Z with this, but I'm going to break it down for you. When we talked about reclaiming your peace, we're not talking about being selfish, because it is human nature to care for others. But we're talking about those who want you to always say yes, those who expect for you to say yes, those who have you in their telephone contacts, on speed dial, on voice dial, on Alexa, Siri, and they say, Siri, call whatever your name is. And you know why they do that? Because they know that you're going to say yes. Now, how do you set the boundary? What do you want to do? Because I have a lot of people that work with me, and they, let things happen. They allow things to happen. I fit in that category somewhere too. Because I start to think, what if this happens to this person? What if that happens? And those are natural things. But are you demising yourself, depleting yourself when you think about I have to take care of that person. Whether it's your child, whether it's your mate, whoever it is. And we're not talking about parents omitting their responsibility for the young children. We're talking about these parents who are not able to say no to the young adults. We're not even talking about parents as an isolated incident. We're talking about people just not allowing people to reclaim their peace. If it's something that makes you feel anything other than peaceful, inner calm, that's where you should know your boundary. See, it's not about telling people what their boundary is, because what my boundary may be may not be yours, and vice versa. I might be able to tolerate a lot, and you say, why is she tolerating that? I can't believe that he tolerates that. He puts up with that. See, that's not your boundary. But that might be he or she, or them or they. That might be their boundary. What is your boundary? How do you reclaim your peace when it comes to knowing things? Vibe Talk Facing the Lion podcast is all about you thinking positively, thinking other ways, being open-ended. There's not always one way to do something. But I want you to think of how you matter. You might want someone else to care for you the way that you may not be caring about yourself. We've done that in our lives. We start to care. We want other people to care about us, but have we really thought about it? How does that person care about themselves? The one that you're expecting. Remember, expectation when it comes to your peace. Because maybe it is that you expect them to love you in a way that they're not able to even love themselves. How many of us have been there? I have been there. And it's a walk of life. It's a journey to learning. And if you are that person, there's no shame. You will learn to do better by thinking, I'm worthy. If there is anything that causes you any feeling other than peaceful and calmness, think about it. Is it harmful to your spirit? Is it harmful for your emotional and mental health? How are you doing in this regard? Sometimes we allow things to come in our lives, and sometimes it may consume us. We get on social media, what we're taking in sometimes can consume us, and we're not necessarily doing anything wrong, but we're consumed with all of this, all of the outer environment, how people speak, the energy that we absorb. I want you to think about, what are your values? Because no one ties you to the things that come into your life. You're not a slave. You have freedom of choice. Even if you tell me you didn't, I would ask you to find one way to claim your peace. Sometimes we have to refocus. What are we refocusing on? We're refocusing on how did I get here? Think about your journey that you're on right now. And when you come into Vibe Talk, or the first time that you hear Vibe Talk, you're going to have to make that choice to think about what journey you're on. Your journey is not to be compared to anyone else's. So while you're on that journey, look at your short-term goals, your long-term goals. How will you attain peace? Because maybe I'm going to attain peace one way, and you say, well, I didn't think about that one. I want you to think about presently, at present, in the moment, how you will walk your journey. However long it takes you to reclaim that peace. I want you to start thinking about the emotion of being exactly where you need to be, the experience. What does it take for you to be where you need to be? Where do you want to be? A lot of people love chaos in their lives. Anybody know anybody like that? And don't name drop. Don't call us with names, because we don't do walks of shame here. But if you know somebody like that that is in chaos constantly, their entire life, everything they do from the time they get up to the time they go to bed is chaotic. How many of you know people like that? And you say, wow, I got to get away from them. I got to distance myself. I love them, but I got to distance myself. Yeah, those people. Do you think they're peaceful? Or let me put it like this. Are they at peace? Come a little closer. Let me ask you. If you are living in chaos, complete chaos, from the time you get up to the time you go to bed, how do you think it's wearing on your heart, your breathing? You're anything but peaceful. You must think in your thoughts, what do I need to do here? How will I spend my energy? What am I doing? My whole life is drama. I'm scared to change it because I don't know how to change it. And I love this. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, some people love drama. But most of all, how are you spending your time and your energy? Are you still on that journey to peace? Reclaiming it? Some of you have lived very peaceful lives. And then your circumstances change, and then it gets out of balance, out of focus, and then you no longer have the peace. The power to your peace is yours. The power to your peace is not selfish. It's a beautiful thing to have peace. Sometimes in our life, we must grab those moments to reflect on our peace. Have you ever just sat down in a comfortable space and just reflect it. Just this morning, I went to take the trash out, and I heard in the stillness of the present moment, swift bird wings. Swiftly it went by me, but just the power of that sound alone made me come to a complete calmness. Because you hear it and you respond to it and you say, "Did you hear that?" Because that is exactly what I said to myself in the moment of peace, being still. Let me say that again. In the present moment, when I heard the birds, the blackbird, the crow, swiftly flying his wings, it brought me to the moment of peace. And I say to you, peace, be still. We're not done yet. Before we go, we have a special thing that we're going to do. Everybody ready for it? Because we're going to call out to some people. We can't guarantee you anything, but we're going to try it and see how it goes. We're going to do it. And let's try it now. And you may call in, guys. We're asking the question, how do you reclaim your peace? What do you do to get inner peace, physical peace, emotional peace, mental peace? Where do you go? Are there any peaceful places? That's a question we're asking. So we're going to reach out, and then we're going to go to Trisha's treasures. I have not forgotten. Let's see. And okay. Let me see. Making phone calls. Okay. That call's not working. Let's try this one. Not that one. Still looking. Still looking. And that's what we'll do during this show, or the podcast. We'll do some reaching out to the unexpected people. Because we want to show you how you can be helped. Let me see. We're still trying, guys. And if you guys think that you'd like to be reached, let us know. We'll call you up. Okay, no answer. And let me see. Let me see. Let's see. Okay. Let me see. Okay. We're looking for people. And we want to kind of give you guys a demo of how we do things. Trish, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Okay. Let's do this. We're still. Let's see, it's connecting. We're going to be reaching out to people as we want you guys to reach out to us. I like unsuspecting people. And we're showing you guys how we do this. And we have people calling to us. Our very own Trish puts a list together of calls. Go listen to them. We're getting unsuspecting people that don't even know we're calling. So we're going to try 2 more. Let's try 2 more. Somebody's got to be home. Somebody's got to be home. Where is everybody? If you're still with us, today's question is what, Trish?
Our today's question is, how do you reclaim your peace?
How do you reclaim your peace? Thank you for that, Trish. And you guys can answer at any time. It doesn't have to be a Think About Thursday. Even after today, you can call in and you can say what you want to say. Okay? It's so important that you matter. Nothing. Where are all the people that are on their social medias? Oh, let's see. Okay. One more. One more, guys. And we're going to go straight to Trisha's Treasures. Now, any other time, let's call him. No. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not just ready to give up right now, ladies and gentlemen. We do have live calls. So if you go to YouTube, that will be put up today's question. Okay, and we want you to think about this question. Let's see. Let's see. We want to do unsuspecting people. It's always much better that way, guys. And we want you guys to get involved with those kind of questions that are not controversial, but rather they're questions that make you think. How to handle something. What do you do? I'm going to call this person. Not ready to give up just yet. Trish, we got you. Okay. And okay. Boy, we just going down the list here. Let's see. We are still live, ladies and gentlemen. So, we're reaching out to unsuspecting people. And if you want us to perhaps call you, you can be our caller. We'll call you. Doesn't always have to be unsuspecting. It never has to be. Never, never has to be. Yeah, let me do this. Yeah, hold on. Okay. Let's try this person. I'm not ready to give up, guys, but I do know we have to go to Trisha's Treasures. So we're going to be right back. If you'd like to be a caller, call in 1-888-721-9260. If you want to be on our unsuspecting list, that we'll call you up and see what your thoughts are, you can call in too. The point of thinking in your thoughts is always to get your thoughts, because you do matter. You matter, ladies and gentlemen, and we do care about you. We will be right back. Welcome back. And now, Trish's Treasures. Trish?
Have you guys had a hard day at work or just a long, exhausting day? And as soon as you come home, you come inside and you take your shoes off, and then you go to that refrigerator looking for that comfort ice cream that you've been craving all day after your long, exhausting day, and you look in the refrigerator and it's not there. You're wondering what happened. What happened to the ice cream? What happened? And there are two things you can do. Well, actually, three things you could do. The first thing you could do is forget about it and look for something else to ease your mind, calm down, cool down. Or you could go back to that door, put your shoes back on, get in the car, go to the store, get you some more ice cream, and make sure you extra make sure you stock extra this time so you won't be surprised when you come home and it's not there because you forgot. That's your peace, that's your comfort every time you come home. So eventually that ice cream will be gone Okay, so then, or you could get upset that it's not there. You're wondering what happened to all that ice cream. I promise you, there's more left. Like, I checked this morning before I left for work, and I was looking forward to that ice cream. And that's how it is with peace, reclaiming your peace. There are many times where, like we talked about, the traffic, where there are road ragers, people that get upset when um, the traffic is too long and they have somewhere to go, or they're just exhausted, they're tired, they want to go home. So, something that happened to me was when me and my dad were going to my appointment and we're on our way home, and my dad's like, let's take the short way, let's go to the eye and go home that way. Usually he doesn't like taking that because the traffic is crazy. And so there a lot of accidents happen in Charleston. So he doesn't like taking the I. So he's like, let's just take the I so we can hurry up and go home. So we're on the I, and we're going down. We're almost on the street that leads to, I don't know if I'm saying this right. We're almost we're almost on the road where it leads us to like go home to our town or whatever. And so traffic. It's like crazy. It's a long line of traffic. We're like, we should have took the other way because we wouldn't be stuck in this traffic if we would have just took the usual way that we always do. We would have been home. It might have taken a little longer, but we would have been home. We wouldn't have to be in this traffic. And so my dad was like, next time we're taking the usual way. We're not taking the eye back. So I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that because I'm ready to go home too. So that's also like reclaiming your peace. Sometimes we want to take the other way, you know. If that's normal. That's normal. We want to try something new, try something to get to that comfort, that peace a little faster than usual. It has to be like a light switch, an automatic peace that comes when we're faced with something. And when we're in that traffic, when we're stuck in the middle, sometimes it's hard to navigate the next step to finding peace. Sometimes it's hard to pause and calm down because we're so caught up in the moment, caught up in what we're stuck in. We're so frustrated. And it's sometimes it's hard. I get that because I'm I'm anxious. I'm an anxious person. So when I'm in that moment, it's hard for me to recollect my mind. See, when I answered the question this morning, guys, about how do I reclaim my peace, it sounds like I just automatically get there, but that is not it. That's not true. I don't automatically get there. It takes me some time. Like, I am a person that gets overwhelmed before I calm down. And I hope some people can relate with me because I know I do it and I'm trying to work on it. I really am. I'm an overthinker and it's hard to find light at the end of the tunnel. But to me, all I see is red, all I see is darkness. And so I'm trying to get to that peace, to that sunlight, to feel that the rays on my face, you know? So I say all that to say, if you're stuck in the traffic of life, you feel stuck in the ways where you're wondering when am I going to get to my destination of peace? When am I going to get to where I want to be at, to where it feels like after an exhausting day, I'm eating some ice cream. I'm getting some rest. When am I going to get to that point? And the great thing about that question, right? It's up to us to decide whether is it up to us? Are we depending on other people to give us that peace? Are we codependent, as I said, on others to give us that peace, on others to give us ideas of what their piece is, and then we find it in their piece, you know? But we're all different people. We all have different kinds of ways to reclaim peace, and we have different definitions of peace. But what is very important in closing is that reclaiming and claiming, it means that you own it. You take it back. You grasp that piece. You treat it like it's yours. You value it. You understand it and you embrace it. You cherish that piece. So that's it.
That is real lion power. Trish, thank you so much for that. If you want to be a part of our audience, please find and follow us. Don't forget to scan the QR codes. It's just that simple, just that easy. And I had a lady that said to me, I don't know how to do the QR codes. And I said, I just learned myself. So there we were doing the QR code, and it came up. Our 800 number is 1-888-721-9260. I bid you, please. Thinking in your thoughts is all about how you think, what you're thinking. Giving a thought might help you and other people. Your voice matters. I want to thank Trish. Thank you so much for putting up with me this morning. We had technical difficulty, and I've got all these devices, and it just seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I'm so glad we thought it out, and I was able to do this. Usually I'm panicked, and I took a sigh of relief, and I released that stress just like that balloon and not resent it yet. May your peace be yours and yours alone. Thank you for this time. Until next time, we will see you soon. Thanks, everybody.